Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Craig.
Well, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Let me first thank you for the hearing and the effort put forth. And I must also say your thoughtful approach toward the cap-and-trade concept. I think that's reflected in the testimony we've heard today. I must also tell you that I continue to oppose what I think is an obsolete approach that is a post-Kyoto holdover of a command and control type that creates imbalances or disincentives and certain other kinds of abnormal incentives to a market that all of us are and should be concerned about. As you know, I helped co-author the Hagel-Pryor climate title, Title 17 in EPAC, that you and Senator Domenici are certainly receiving accolades for, as you should, and frankly, that opposed the cap-and-trade amendment approach. Having said that, I think your latest draft demonstrates a lot of work on your part, and I'm encouraged by it. You've included greenhouse gas intensity as a measurement of emissions in the terms of a GDP. I guess my frustration beyond that, because I see a phenomenal opportunity for our country to do a good number of things. First and foremost, for us to lead and help the world. I don't dispute that. I think that's in part what Jason is referencing. And we can do that not through existing technology, but new technologies. We gain very little to focus on ourselves and ourselves alone and let China and India wander off into the future, continuing to be the large emitters they are. It is just simply counterproductive. We're investing more. We should invest more. I think Ann has it right. This may be the cart, but there's no horse. And I must tell you, I am extremely frustrated with an administration that is talking the talk right now, but they are not administratively, by rule and regulation, walking it. And by that I mean we're still lagging dramatically with the implementation of all of the new technology ideas and the guaranteed loans and all of that in part many of you have included in your discussion today on this piece of legislation. That doesn't mean it's all inclusive what the work we've done, and there shouldn't be more work done. And I'm certainly willing to be part of that. But I'm going to jab this administration a little bit for the very counterproductive discussion between DOE and OMB about who's on first and who's on second. Now I'll take another step forward. The unwillingness of the current Senate and House to move forward on an appropriation bill by appropriation bill approach to fund these new efforts that we are now going to deny ourselves steps us back another year in many of the new technologies, in the advancement of something that we all now generally agree with, nuclear. Here we are attempting to look into the future, and we're not handling the present very well as it relates to the work we've already done. And it's not untypical of a Congress to always look at what may be publicly pleasing tomorrow, but failing to carry through on the very work we've done that is phenomenally substantive today. Am I frustrated? Yes, I am. Am I going to change an attitude that I have grown to be comfortable with because I spend a lot of time on this issue with scientists and others? I'm not surprised with Daniel's testimony. It's okay, but it isn't enough. We need to do a lot more. We probably do. But I am not going to shut down this economy to accomplish it. And I'm not going to create an artificial market in which there are winners and losers in a way that distorts it. We ought to be all about incentivizing. We ought to be all about new technologies. And as I've traveled the world to the climate change conferences, I'm very proud of the fact that what we do is open, transferable, as it relates to the rest of the world. And that's what we ought to be about. If the technology we develop for the coal industry of this country are immediately applied to the coal industry and the generating capacity of China, that is a quantum leap forward by all measurable amounts. So I get it. I thank you for the work done. I'm not sure that I'm willing to accept a nose under the tent approach to cap and trade when in fact it gets us so short a distance, and I think, as Ann said, we are picking winners and we are picking losers, and somebody's going to pay for it, and I'm not sure it's productive at that point. Whereas coal gasification, a whole combination of new things, clearly to get this administration off its back and moving on nuclear and other areas of new technologies make, to me, a whole lot of sense. I guess that's more of a statement than a question. I've used up my time, but I think it also demonstrates, at least for me, that this committee is moving generally in the right direction. And I thank you very much for that, Mr. Chairman.